for this week's stop on the ITU World Cup circuit. It's a small city with a huge heart on the east coast of Canada, and this marks the 9th year athletes have made the journey to race what has become a classic and unforgettable piece of the ITU World Cup puzzle. The athletes come not only for the incredible hospitality, but also for the challenging course. A course that is showing her true colors today as the rain clouds rise on another day of racing on the rock. The women's event is up first, and one young American has already proven she likes this Corner Brook course. Sarah Haskins had a top 10 finish here last year, and she's looking to improve in 2006.
It's a challenging course, you know, there's hills, so a smaller group I think are more likely to stay away. It's not as much the drafting is going to be a factor since it's, you know, hills. So, you know, we're just going to go out there and give it everything we have, and yeah, they'll definitely be in the back of my mind knowing that they're going to be pushing it strong.
With 2 World Cup silver medals under her belt already this year, Anya Dittmer also has her eye on the gold in Corner Brook.
Yeah, after the swim there's a uphill run, and of course I try to do my best on the upper run, and I try to catch someone on the uphill, and also after the transition it goes straight up the hill, so maybe if you feel good and strong and you are not such a good swimmer, you can make maybe some time there.
Canada's hopes ride on the young shoulders of Lauren Groves, who already has 4 top 10 finishes to her credit this year, thanks to her speedy run.
Yeah, this is a bit of a stronger field this year than past years in Corner Brook. There are a few stronger swimmers, Sarah McClarty, Sarah Haskins, to name a couple, and there's a chance that they're going to be off the front, and I hope to be as close as possible behind them and in the chase group, and we're going to work as hard as we can. This is a strong course, and I think that if we are working well together, we could bring them in. But then again, anything can happen on the run here. 10K, very, very challenging, so it's really not over until the first person crosses that line.
Notorious for being tough, Corner Brook throws a few challenges at competitors, beginning with a chilly 3-lap, 1,500-meter swim. Following that, they will make their way up the unique but leg-burning run into the transition area. And as if that wasn't enough, Stage 2 takes athletes onto a hilly, technical 6-lap, 40-kilometer course through the streets of Corner Brook, looping past transition twice on each lap. While the final stage of the race continues the punishment with a hilly 4-lap, 10-kilometer run on streets and trails around the transition area. With a stellar field on hand, these are the women to watch today, including World Cup leader Vanessa Fernandez. Lauren Groves leads the home country charge, while Italy's Cortazza could also race well. Now, here's Barry Sheppy with all your action.
Well, all eyes will be on Vanessa Fernandez as the 20-year-old Portuguese athlete goes for her 10th consecutive win. And it was just days ago that the water temperature was over 23 degrees Celsius, and it looked like for the first time ever in Corner Brook that there would not be wetsuits, but cool weather over the last couple of days, a little bit of rain bringing it back down to under 20, and wetsuits being worn here again for the 9th consecutive year. The athletes have 150 meters to go till they get to the very first of the swim boys. You can see by the raincoats on all the spectators that it is starting to rain, and that's Emma Moffat right in the middle of the screen as the young Australian who came second in Edmonton, trying to ride that wave here in Corner Brook. There'll be 3 loops around the Glenmullen Pond, and the athletes staying very tightly bunched are at the first 150-plus meters. The 2 Sarahs, Haskin and McCarty, expected to take the pace very quickly, and that's Sarah Haskin closest to us in the middle of the screen. Great swimmer, she's been underwater in the top 3 or 4 most of her World Cup races in her very young career. And as she continues to push through the first 150 meters, you can see that the women will be tightly bunched together as they go around the first of the hard right-hand turns here in Corner Brook. And our chase group now starting to fall back by about 15 seconds on McCarty and Haskin. As we take a look on our chase group, that's Emma Moffat from Australia, the 22-year-old. Next to her, Vanessa Fernandez, who is sitting in a very solid position right now. Her swim going very well with the wetsuit. And the Olympic Games bronze medalist from Sydney 2000, Natalie Mesmer DeMarco, sitting back in 5th spot. And as we anticipated, the two Americans have pushed off the front, Sarah McClarty and Sarah Haskin. And McClarty certainly has a capacity much faster than all the rest of the women in the field. And Sarah Haskin working right now very effectively along with McClarty as the two women try to get as large a gap as they can throughout the swim. Haskin, very new to the sport of triathlon. She was second in St. Anthony's earlier this season, 7th in Corner Brook a year ago, and had a top 10 finish in Ishigaki. Still working on her run to try to finish the day, but the young American athlete, part of that very talented swim bike specialists that the U.S. have been so well known for over the past. The crowd very close down on the Glenmillan Pond, again as close as they are in any of the World Cup races to watching. We take a look back, Jill Savage from Canada sitting back, and Brie Rabi from South Africa also into this main chase group as the women are going through now the 650-meter mark of this 1,500-meter swim.
15 minutes, so that is some brilliant swims by the
Our leaders now have broken away, and you can see what gap they have as McClarty and Haskin, the two Sarahs, will be coming out of the water. McClarty had a 90-second lead in her inaugural World Cup race in Ishigaki while she's decided to work a little more effectively, and together the two U.S. athletes out of the water in just over 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Fantastic times. You can see those wet stairs as they come up, and now it is that grueling run up the hill, about 400 plus meters, and really very few TV cameras do justice to just how tough it is. It's Sarah McClarty just coming out of the wetsuit, already out of her sleeve Sarah Haskin, and together as they continue to climb up this vertical mountain out of the water, it'll be the chase group of athletes that'll be coming up, and they'll likely be almost a minute behind. It's about a 75-second run to get out of the water to your bikes, and it is absolutely grueling. We have seen great runners make up time and great swimmers lose a tremendous amount of time up the stairs. Rabi from South Africa coming out in 1923, Jill Savage from Canada, Vanessa Fernandez sitting very well now out of the water in that main chase group. As she comes out at the top of the screen, we can see our leaders already getting to their bikes. The chase group of athletes coming out, Lauren Groves and Jessica Harrison out of the water in 1933, so they're only a minute down, and Julie Swear from the U.S. as well. Coming out of the wetsuits, helmets on, they're getting ready to take off onto the bike as our leaders in the top left corner, Sarah Haskin and Sarah McClarty, head out to start their 6-lap hilly 40-kilometer ride, and now coming up the hill, our main chase group, including Vanessa Fernandez into that group as well, Emma Moffat, Jessica Harrison, Lauren Groves, and Jill Savage from Canada as they make their way through. That's Vanessa Fernandez in her very distinct Portuguese outfit coming up and out of the water. Samantha McGlone just coming out of the bottom corner, so she has a tremendous amount of time to make up. McGlone will be down by nearly 2 minutes as Vanessa Fernandez already onto her bike and heading out to start her 6-lap 40-kilometer bike ride. It'll be very important that the women bridge up very quickly and start to work together, because Sarah Haskin and Sarah McClarty are very strong on the bikes, and they will try to make up as much time as they can. They are climbing up towards what is the local college here in Corner Brook, so it is a steep hill right out of the transition zone, and there is Samantha McGlone. McGlone is down by 2+ minutes, but we have seen her make up huge gaps in the past, and she is going to have the bike and run of her life if she wants to come anywhere close to the podium today. The wet pavement here in Corner Brook, Newfoundland, and they'll be coming back past the transition zone, past the chase athletes coming after them, and they'll be going in speeds of in excess of 70 kilometers an hour, and as they come down, the chase group of athletes are now climbing up the hill. New breed of swim bikers from the U.S. It used to be Sheila Taramina and Barb Lindquist, and they will try to make up as much time as they can.
Taking a look at the women's standings after the swim, you can see 2 American women with a sizable lead of almost a minute coming out of the water. But some of the hottest cyclists in the field are in the chase, including Fernandez. Further down, Groves from Canada had a minute to make up on the leaders, but she too was out in the main chase.
As we have seen her so many times in the past, Vanessa Fernandez now trying to get this chase group of athletes to work with her. She has done it solo so many times in the past, but certainly would be to her benefit if she's able to get this very talented chase group of athletes to start to work together. They are coming back towards the transition zone. We're looking back, I think, on our second chase group. and that is Samantha McGlone sitting up. McGlone is a very powerful rider, along with Alicia Kay and I think Jessica Harrison into that group as well. And now we look back to our main chase group, and that was Vanessa Fernandez hollering over her shoulder, trying to get the women to work together with her. She definitely looks frustrated. Glasses up into her helmet to try to make sure she doesn't get any raindrops on, and we're seeing just a little bit of commitment now from the main women in the chase group, and they're all chasing down right now Sarah Haskin and Sarah McClarty, and it'll be Sarah Haskin, I think, taking the bike cream as she comes through at the end of lap number 2. And here they come, right back past the lighthouse here in Corner Brook, Newfoundland, as well as the main transition zone, and Vanessa Fernandez into this major group as she's going for her 10th consecutive World Cup win in a row, and only one other woman has ever had more, and that is the great Emma Carney, who had 12 consecutive wins. You can see the main chase group going up the hill. The two Americans will be coming back down on the opposite side. Our second chase group now with Miranda Carfrey and Samantha McGlone just coming through right now, and they are working very, very hard right now trying to bring back that group. And as they're coming back down the hill, Haskin and McClarty, and you can see that they still have a significant lead as Sarah McClarty realizing that she has to become more than just a swimmer. We take a look back to McClarty's World Cup debut in Ishigaki. It was the most incredible women's swimming capacity we have ever seen, with an almost 90-second gap over the rest of the women in that incredible World Cup field.
I learned that getting a minute and a half lead in the swim gets you 2 laps by yourself on the bike, and then that's about it. And gets you a little bit of TV time and some screaming fans. But it's not the smartest race. As my run progresses, I'll be slowing down in the swim naturally and consciously, making that decision on my own, and then hope bring some people with me out of the water and see what we can do on the bike.
Well, there are not too many people that can go without women, as Sarah McClarty and Sarah Haskin collectively right now have led for over 40 minutes of the 2006 World Cup race here in Corner Brook. Thanks for the memories, say the spectators who have been oh so loyal over the years. And as our main chase group, including Vanessa Fernandez, Jill Savage, and Lauren Groves go by, they'll be tracking down the two Sarahs, Haskin and McClarty, who are up front. But the woman who's got the fastest bike of the day right now is Samantha McGlone from Canada. The Canadian Olympian, a 2-time national champion, she continues to be absolutely fierce on the bike. 4th in the Cancun World Cup race, 5th in Honolulu. She's never been able to get on top of the podium, and that's really because the swim has let her down in World Cup racing. Late now into lap number 6, they'll be coming back towards the transition zone, and as the two U.S. athletes who have led throughout this entire race will realize that they are going to have to try to maximize their time on the bike, because they will have some very fast runners coming up from behind. You can see the two main chase groups coming together right now. McGlone's group, along with Miranda Carfrey, back by about 25 seconds and working incredibly hard through this final lap. Some great aerial shots looking down. You can see Vanessa Fernandez into there, Magdalene Mesmer DeMarco as well. And as the Swiss athlete will be coming towards the final stages of this 40-kilometer ride here in Corner Brook, it will not get any easier because they have a 4-lap, very difficult 10-kilometer run ahead. Sarah Haskin just getting out of her cycling shoes. It has continued to have a fair amount of moisture on the roads here. Unfortunately, most of the women have stayed on top of their bikes. As you can see, McGlone's back now trying to bring back a that major chase group just ahead of them. They're only about 15 seconds. Abraham from Australia, May from Luxembourg into that group, as well as the best runners in the sport will be coming off the bike here momentarily. Sarah Haskin and Sarah McClarty will be the first to exit off the bikes and start into their 4-lap 10-kilometer run. It is Sarah Haskin off the bike just over an hour and 8 minutes, and McClarty as well. As we take a look down into the Sir Richard Squire building, you can see the blue carpet, reminiscent of the Sydney and Athens Olympic Games, and Haskin will be the first to go out to start the 10-kilometer run. A little stronger runner than McClarty, so if any one of these two swim bikers have a chance of staying in the top 3, it'll likely be Haskins. Sarah Haskin, who was second in St. Anthony's earlier this year, first to start out onto the 10K run, and still no chase pack coming in. McClarty will be just about 8 seconds behind, and the clock will now start ticking as we wait for the major chase group with Jill Savage, Lauren Groves, Megan Mesmer DeMarco, and Vanessa Fernandez. And the longer this gap happens, a better chance that these two swim bikers might just be able to steal a medal here today. It is a very tough up and downhill run course, and they go right into a very aggressive downhill section in the next 20 or 30 seconds. So Haskin will have to worry, and here they come. They'll be coming off the bike about a minute plus down. And Vanessa Fernandez into that group right now. You can see the bottom right-hand corner is McGlone and Abram. The top are Fernandez and DeMarco, and as the two packs almost come together, what an incredible ride by Samantha McGlone. It'll be Vanessa Fernandez who will likely try to take charge here very quickly and go after the two American swimmers. Fernandez just in the middle of the screen, helmet off, and as she takes off, it'll be Magdalene Mesmer DeMarco in the red, Emma Moffitt in the blue with the white hat just going off right there. Anya Dittmer also into that group heading off, so she's in a great position as well as they start into the very fast downhill section, and that is very hard on the legs. As you can see the silver suit right there, and that's Vanessa Fernandez. She'll be pushing the pace very quickly, as we have seen her in almost every one of her 9 previous World Cup wins. You can see the two U.S. athletes still on the downhill section. They'll have to go back up that hill, and they'll do it a total of 4 times.
The standings after the bike looked similar to those out of the water, with the two Americans still charging away with the lead, now managing a gap of over a minute heading on to the 10-kilometer run. But fleet-footed Vanessa Fernandez was still in touch in the chase pack, along with Cortasa and Germany's Anya Dittmer.
And coming through to start lap number 2 remains Sarah Haskin, as she's been able to hold off a very fast-charging Vanessa Fernandez. And here she comes. She has absolutely left the pack in her wake, as Vanessa Fernandez has already run through Sarah McClarty, and after just 1 lap, it's Vanessa Fernandez, now just one more woman ahead of her, standing between her and her 10th consecutive World Cup win. Corner Brook, the site of so many great wins in the past. Anya Dittmer right now sitting in 4th place. Emma Moffitt sitting in 5th, and Moffitt has come off a great month of racing in the month of July, as she had a superb race in Corner Brook, Newfoundland. Lauren Groves is going through there as well. Nadia Cortasa from Italy sitting in a top 5 position. And I think the inevitable is just about to occur, as Sarah Haskin trying desperately right now to hang on to maybe a podium, as Vanessa Fernandez is about to run through. And look at Samantha McGlone. She was in that second chase group, the fastest bike of the day, and she is absolutely ripping through the field. If any woman has a chance of running herself into a top 3, it might be McGlone right now, as Vanessa Fernandez in that very familiar position, and that's leading a World Cup triathlon on the run. It's Haskin from the United States. Canada's Samantha McGlone has absolutely torn up the pavement here. Vanessa Fernandez now continuing to push the pace. She does not let up when she gets a lead. Haskin showing some great courage right now, because a 2nd place finish would be an all-time lifetime best for her. And as McGlone goes by one of her Canadian teammates, Carolyn Murray from Edmonton, Alberta. We see on the left-hand side Anya Dittmer in 2nd right now, and in 3rd place I believe Nadia Cortasa as they continue through. Vanessa Fernandez has just been absolutely dominating, no woman having done more at just the ripe old age of 20. A two-time European champion, 9 consecutive World Cup victories, as we said so many times, and 8 at the Athens Olympic Games when she was just 18 years of age. The real battle now for the podium spots as Nadia Kurtasa right now is trying to run away from Emma Moffitt and Anya Dittmar, and both of them now starting to run through the likes of Sarah Haskin, who did so much of the work through the swim and the bike. Kurtasa, a very talented Italian athlete. They're certainly putting their hopes on her as they head into the Beijing Olympic Games. And the woman who only has one major goal, and she said that is to win the gold medal at the Beijing Olympics, will now start to lap athletes here on the very tough Corner Brook course. Kurtasa in the blue and Anya Dittmar in the black. The German athlete has had 6 World Cup victories in the past. Kurtasa with a previous podium, but she has never been on top of a World Cup win. Go through the residential streets here in a beautiful Corner Brook, and for so many years, and look at McGlone now starting to run through. She has gone through Haskin, and that is an incredible running form. She's run about 32 high in her training workouts, and Vanessa Fernandez pushing the pace right now as Samantha McGlone is showing me one of the gutsiest races I have ever seen. After being 2 minutes down out of the water, she has had the fastest bike split and will be one of the fastest runs, if not the fastest run of the day. And you can see Vanessa Fernandez on the trail section. This course is relentless. 3 loops of the swim, 6 very hilly bike loops, and 4 very tough hilly run loops. There is not a tougher course on the circuit. And McGlone might just be starting to run out of time as they're coming through the final stages of this ITUTV World Cup Corner Brook Triathlon, as Canada's Samantha McGlone right now sitting in 4th and trying to go after her first ever podium. But a woman who at 20 years of age will now claim her 10th consecutive World Cup win. And as I said, only one woman with more consecutive victories, and that is the great Emma Kearney. The battle now for 2nd and 3rd is Kurtasa in 2nd. Dittmar now just starting to push. Here comes McGlone with less than 500 meters to go. But all eyes will be on the young Portuguese athlete as Vanessa Fernandez will approach the 2-hour and 6-minute mark, and Portugal will be on top of the podium one more time. Fernandez crossing the line here today in 2:06:02 with a 34:43 run. That is absolutely incredible, and Anya Dittmar has been able to separate herself, and she will take her 2nd silver medal performance of the year. Dittmar back in great form, the 2-time German Olympian in 2nd. Kurtasa will bring pride to Italy as she crosses in 3rd, 2:06:29, a 34:58 run. And here comes a gutsy performance of the day as Samantha McGlone will take 4th, her all-time World Cup best, with a 35-minute run and a 1:08 bike split. And look at the fatigue on her face. She has absolutely emptied the tank. Some respect from Fernandez, just coming in across the line. And 5th will be Emma Moffitt, and what a great performance.
And so the dominance of Portugal's shining star continues, with Vanessa Fernandez taking her 10th World Cup victory in a row here in Corner Brook, a course that suits her tough racing style.
I love the place, I love the course, I love the persons. I think this is an amazing place to do a World Cup like this. You have to be a good cyclist, a good swimmer, and a good runner. This is a tough circuit course. It wasn't so easy to win this race today.
Germany's Anya Dittmar did it all on the run, using her final powerful kick to bring her across the line ahead of Italy's Nadia Kurtasa.
I'm really happy with 2nd place, but yeah, it's the 3rd time this year that I came 2nd, always behind Vanessa or behind Emma. Yeah, but that's fine. I'm really happy that I'm so consistent.
The swim for me is is very not good. It's not good. Always not good. Bike good, and run is very strong. I don't stay very well, but I am also happy for this race.
So Kurtasa grabs her first podium of the World Cup season with the bronze medal, while Anya Dittmar proves her consistency with another silver medal. But the victory today was once again the Queen of the World Cup, Fernandez, with her 10th victory in a row. And it's that dominance that has the rest of the women's field a little spooked, looking ahead to the World Championships in just over a month, as Fernandez looks to be unbeatable at this point in the season. Canada's Sam McGlone had a brilliant run, proving she too could contend on the tough World Champs course. And yet another victory solidifies Fernandez's grip on top of the rankings, while Dittmer sits solidly in second, and another good race for Lauren Groves keeps her in third. Emma Moffat's star is also rising on the World Cup rankings as her fifth today moves her up to 12th overall. Now stay tuned, because up next we bring you all the men's action from Corner Brook, Canada.